Yeah, I am a pretty quiet person. And sometimes when you're quiet, people are like, well, that's okay. You don't say a lot, but you're a great listener. You're a really good listener. That's the thing. I'm not. Sometimes I'm not talking and I'm not listening. Sometimes it's unclear why I'm there at all. I'm just a potato in the photo. I will freeze up around strangers occasionally and not know what to say, and that can confuse everyone. They're like, why do you do stand-up? This literally think of what to say in front of strangers. I thought about it. It sort of makes sense, because like when I do have something to say, I got to write it up, rehearse it, get comfortable with it, and then I got to pick a time and place where I'm going to present it, sort of discreetly, like a drug lord meeting, and then I got to advertise and promote it, just like one night only, she speaks, And then afterwards, I demand my money. So I think it's a pretty good racket. Yeah, people with a lot of social anxiety struggle with something called the spotlight effect. It's like when you're out in public or around a lot of other people, you think everyone's paying way closer attention to you than they actually are. Like teenagers experience it a lot. That's why they're so chill and easy to be around. But I try to remember, okay, when you're doing stand-up, people are looking at you, they're expecting things. The rest of the time, you're probably fine. You're probably overthinking it. The problem is I am friends with a lot of other performers and comedians, and the thing is they are hyper-observant. They are watching everything around them closely at all times. They're looking for their next bit. They're looking for more content. They're just scanning, like Terminators who read The Artist's Way. They are not safe people. One time I was out to lunch with some comedians. We were all eating these big, juicy burgers, and I took kind of a too big bite of mine, and a little bit of hot sauce flew in my eye, and I started blinking a lot and crying, but just sort of at a half of my face, and I was like, you know what, it's fine. Probably no one even noticed. Like, you're doing great. It could have been worse. You could have thrown yourself on the ground and just been like, why, God, why? You're playing it so cool. You're good. Just keep going. And then the comedian all the way at the other end of the table goes, hey, Aparna, I noticed you took kind of a too big bite of your burger and a little bit of hot sauce flew in your eye, and now you're blinking a lot and crying, but just sort of out of half of your face. She narrated the whole thing to the group, just a play-by-play. Next thing you know, I'm a metaphor for futility in her next one-person show. It kind of feels like if you were walking in public and you tripped and you tried to play it off, and then everyone around you faced forward like they were in a musical, and they're just like, her legs have got the tangles. Her legs have got the tangles, and she just fell down. Meanwhile, I'm on the ground like, why, God, why? I also feel like when you're friends with a lot of performers, they will never not take an opportunity to perform. So this has happened to me multiple times. Someone has done an impression of me to my face. I don't know if this happened to anyone in the audience. I say class action lawsuit, emotional damages still being sustained. The last time it happened to me, I was standing with some acquaintances, and one of them just starts talking about how I have such a unique sound. Like, she was a music executive, and I was a bright-eyed young woman about to be exploited. And then she just starts doing an impression of me to the group. And at that point, it was just like a near-death experience. I was just like, where's the light? This feels like a good time to walk into it. Had a good run. Because it's never good. It's never good. Like, it'll always be something like this. Okay, Aparna, this is you. I'm Aparna. And everyone's like, that does kind of sound like you. That does kind of sound like you, though. Uh-oh, it's pretty good. And you have to be like, you're right. I sound like an absolute tool. Thank you so much. Thank you for this friendship. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for nominating me. It kind of reminds me of when someone's like, oh my God, I just saw someone over there who looks just like you. And then you turn and look, and it's just like a stop sign surrounded by trash bags. I see it. Thank you. Uncanny. Thank you. Wow, I love how you perceive me. Thanks for that and the WikiFeet tip. Thanks.